Don't you see a resemblance between a man who works a 9 to 5, depressed, out of his mind, just doesn't care anything about life anymore, just waiting for the day that he dies, pretty much, and a man who gave up on his goals, a man who gave up on his path to financial freedom, a man who gave up to the system that the government created for us? You know, work until you die, basically. Yeah, you see the resemblance, don't you? And this is a part that not everybody tells you about. The part where it takes way too long. You start giving in, you start questioning yourself, you start questioning your own sanity, and if it might actually work. Start thinking of what other people might think of you. You start giving in to certain urges, consuming on the daily, scrolling, and finding yourself in this loophole of like, you want to be in the journey of self-improvement, but you've seen yourself do it so much you've seen yourself do it too much repetitively, not working, and it kind of fucks with you in your head. You see, that's me right now. I've been in this own state of mind where for the past 2.5 years, I've been on this path to financial freedom. I have my goals written up there, and I've been stuck in this loophole because I was in a time of exactly looking for the easy way. I needed easy money, and I find myself, working a 9 to 7 job and making less time for the things that I actually wanted in life. And that put me in this hole where I feel that I'm losing progress and losing myself in this journey. And it kind of fucks with you. This is the part that not everybody tells you about, the part where it takes the longest, the part where you have to stay patient. It tests your patience, it tests, how bad you actually want it in a way. And I'm in that area right now because, I have so much good things going for me, but at the same time, I feel I'm pushing a lot of things back, and I'm not putting myself in the greatest potential I feel I can have. So I have so many things that I have planned, and I have not fully created a system for it where I can actually have it running and actually see it through compared to other things that create an idea and you don't see it through. And right now what I have for me going on is the e-commerce business that I'm working for, Archetype Athletic, and one of my main goals was to take over the Valley, which is the place that I live in, the area, we just call it the Valley. And that was one of my main goals, and I think we've been doing pretty well, especially on the TikTok area. When you're producing content instead of consuming it, you see a lot of progress in that, because for one, you actually put yourself in a way that I'm creating a lot of brand awareness for this business, and that's taken it to another place that we weren't a year ago, and that's progress right there. We have that going, but at the same time, you or myself, I live in a 97, and I find less time to do the things that I actually want, and that's red flag number one, because I'm already making excuses that I don't have time for the things that I actually want. I want to create a dropshipping business. I wanted to create my own social media marketing agency, and I pushed all those things back because I was desperate in a way for quick money. And I'm not dogging anybody who works in 97, because I do feel that in order to put yourself in an area where you want to invest into the finer things, especially drop shipping and all these areas that you want to maybe create your own clothing line and stuff like that, you need money to invest in. So that type of things, actually, you do need a job, and I'm in that area right now. But then I kind of feel myself losing track and losing progress, because time is crucial. Time is the essence, and especially in this time right now, you see it everywhere. All your big content creators, all the big millionaires, multi-millionaires that you look up to, they're all saying time is now 2022 area. If you don't do it now, you might lose a chance in another 5 years. What's to say in another 5 years the market crashes even worse than it is right now? Usually the way the market flows, in 5 years, actually, we should be in a better place. But from what it looks like right now, it's only going downhill. So that type of situations, you don't know what might happen. This is my first market crash that I actually built awareness where I'm actually, holy fuck, I mean, this is serious, obviously, right? I mean, everything can change in this area that you're in right now, because you might lose your chance to the path of financial freedom in another 5 years, because it won't be as easy as it is right now. And when you're not at that area, when you're not in that dream state, goal state, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of fucks with you, because you feel you only have so much little time, and everything that you do kind of builds up to this credibility where you might not see yourself in another year. So I mean, if you have this goal to financial freedom, if you have this goal to, you know, do whatever you can to change the rest of your years, the rest of your life, I mean, the time is the essence. And especially me being in a way that I feel everything matters at this point, which it does, I feel I'm losing a lot of time, because, you know, when you're in this area, you're desperate for money to invest. You kind of start looking back and realizing you're putting less time into the actual things that you're willing to invest in. And that type of things for me, or job shipping, like I said, in the social media marketing and all those things, you know. And basically, I've been in this area where I feel I've been consuming too much scrolling on TikTok, too much YouTube, too much Instagram, too much caring about what other people think, too much egotistical side of areas in the media, and that type of shit kind of fucks with you, and that will actually fuck with your well-being, your self-awareness, because you start giving a fuck about what other people think about you, and that type of shit will only put you in a loophole where you might not be able to crawl out of, because then you get so used to it and you realize that your whole life has been based on it, and that type of shit will kind of fuck with you. And I've been in this area of self-practice, self-awareness, self-meditating, and self-control that, you know, you kind of, after doing it for so long, instead of growing so consistent to it, I feel I kind of got in the point where I didn't see much progress, and I let go of a lot of things, like reading. I was reading a lot more consistently. I was listening to more audiobooks a lot more consistently. A couple months ago, I was meditating, I was doing yoga, I was practicing self-mind control, and a lot of things can actually benefit you in that area, because I mean, I remember taking cold showers every day, and it's not some bullshit I was trying to do, boost my testosterone and shit like that. It's more of like controlling your mind, and when you practice more of that, you take it in an area where more practical way, and maybe in society, maybe in public, and just being around other people, you start actually using that self-mind control to benefit you in a lot of ways. And yeah, I've actually let a lot of that shit go, because I simply pushed it back and made the regular excuse that I've been making for everything else, simply not having time for it, and that shit will fuck you up. That's number one. And I've been doing too much of that. Like, I've been trying to create this new YouTube channel, The Affiliation, on YouTube, and doing interviews, and I haven't sat down and edited the video, even though it might just take me one night of making that video. I haven't done it, and it's been about a month, you know, and I have all these videos planned out, like the fucking save video. I haven't even edited that, but like I just told myself I didn't have time for it. If I want to talk to a friend, I don't have time for it, because me simply don't. But I mean, that's where I'm kind of like fucking with my head, and like right now I'm just kind of ranting, because I kind of just want to use YouTube as a documentary of my life, me looking back on it and seeing where I came from, and seeing my setup right now, seeing where I am right now, and kind of talking about it. Right now my net worth probably like 40 grand, 30 grand, and I'm over here trying to get to a certain point. One of my main goals is having a net worth of 100,000 by 20, which is not hard. I think it's very It's very doable. It's a realistic goal. And I mean, not talking about profit realistically. I'm talking about like my businesses and how much I make, bringing in 100,000 a year on sales, on anything. And right now, Archetype is in an area where we're barely making 4 figures a month, which isn't cutting it for any profits. We're not even cutting, I believe, 25% of my profit margin into an area where we can use, because we're reinvesting everything back into the business. But yeah, other than that, man, I'm just, you get stuck in this system that you were kind of born to be in, which not a lot of people realize, which is kind of sad. And you might realize it when you're younger and you just push it back, because everything you're taught at that young age is practically the system for you to live in. Like, you're supposed to get a job, you're supposed to go to college, get the job you want to get for the rest of your life. Like work yourself till you die. How fucking fucked up is that? Like, you really want to be doing that shit for the rest of your life? No, I don't want to be doing that. And I know I'm going to be successful. I know what I'm creating right now. I'm going to look back at it and see how far I've came. But then you put yourself in this area, man. Like, for me, like, you kind of start questioning a lot of what you're actually doing, because you're like, fuck, man. Like, I'm simply doing things and never execute them. And that kind of fucks me up. Crazy. Like, I have this social media marketing agency, man, that I push back so much, and then the job shipping business, man. But yeah, man, like, stuff like that will fuck with you, because there's this thing called market timing. So basically, it's when luck meets preparation, and when those two collide, that's exactly when your path to financial freedom actually begins. Because for this 2.5 years, I've been in this area of preparation, right? The luck hasn't hit me yet, and that's what it all is. I mean, when luck hits, the preparation. But that preparation, when you're in that for 2.5 years, the harder part is staying consistent with it, because then you put yourself, like, you start creating doubt, basically. You start looking in ways to, make it easier for yourself to get in that area. And that's when that's when I got my job. And I promised myself I wouldn't work another job, but I had to. And it's a great job. I mean, I'm not complaining. I like, but to do it for the rest of my life, yeah, fuck no, I wouldn't want to do that. You need to get out of your 9 to 5. You need to grow. You need your path to financial freedom to start now. The government wants you to be another fucking part of the system, another fucking bot, another number in its data, another test. Man, you think the government gives a shit about you? Come on. America's a fucking business. America's a fucking business. It's all money that's being created for the big ballers. And that's the way it's always going to be. So you can either complain about it, or you can be a part of the system and another way cheat it. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for building a path of legacy to my name, to my family ahead of me, to my future, repaying the family behind me, just starting something. Man, there's so much more to this life than what we've thought it was. I heard this quote. It said, "You've had 2 lives for the rest." Let me rephrase that. You've had 2 lives. You realize, fuck. Yeah, I kind of fucked up on that one, but you've lived 2 lives. But when you realize you've only had one is when you wake up. And basically, the meaning of that is you realize you only have one life ahead of you, and you start to actually use that as your building, as your motivation, and your way of changing your whole legacy for yourself. Because when you realize you only had one life, man, you really want to live your fucking one life the way you are right now. I mean, if you are, then fuck, congrats to you, bro. I want to be in your position, but I mean, mentally, like, when you hear that shit, doesn't that fuck with you? Like, knowing that one life you fucking live was to work till you fucking die? No, man, I want to fucking retire. I want to have a fucking system of a business that's flowing money for me without me doing shit. And to get to that point, man, you have to be a fucking system. Like, you yourself, me, myself, I have to be a fucking system. A system of workflow. Having systems, people doing shit for you. And when you get to that point is when you reach the retirement, the legacy for your family ahead of you. And I know that one day, I don't know how, but I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take small building steps, man. The first part will get me to a certain point. The next part will get me to another point, and then to another point. Man, I know my life is so much more than what it is right now. And in the future, when you're watching this, I know that you're gonna be in another place, taking the time to watch this video, watching your stupid ass talk about this right now. You're gonna realize that you're fucking retarded at one point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But that you were basically a bot right now, and you don't have a lot of shit planned out, but I mean, you know what you want, so you can give me credibility for that. However, man, I want to see myself in another way. And for whatever it is right now, that when you're watching this, you're doing, I know you exactly knew what you were doing, and you would thank myself right now. But I'm thanking you right now, actually. But yeah, man, that's me.